Vic Mullen, grumpy old Scotsman. First video in the... You like this? I've left Second Life open. Yeah, I have. Like this, like this. I got this template from Canva, by which I was very surprised they're actually doing YouTube templates. I didn't think Canva did stuff like that. So, Canva is a little bit like the dummies version of Photoshop, basically. That's essentially what it is. It's like an online photo editing tool. It's a really fucking good one as well. But I've got this, and I've got this for the news stuff. There we go. We're talking about... Oh, you're going to love this. We're talking about this later on. But what I'm going to be doing is tomorrow, the whole political compass thing that I did on Facebook is going to be put up on the channel, unless there's batshit insane news to do with the Labour Party fucking everything up, then it'll get pushed back again. But tomorrow the political compass video is being put up. For all the people that are stumbling on this channel, hi, Vic Mullen, grumpy old Scotsman. I run a vaping channel that's slowly dying because vaping's being killed off by commie Kier Starmer, who is of course the so-called Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And I thought, you know what, I like ranting into a camera, so this started. The Grumpy Old Scotsman, where I'm going to be generally ranting about how crazy and batshit insane the UK's turning into. Yeah, so don't be surprised to see me vaping a lot during these videos. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Oh, before we do, for the people outside the UK that may be stumbling on this video just by chance, we've got a migrant crisis here in the UK. If you're in the US, it's very similar to the southern border problem that you don't have now because Trump built the wall again. But we don't have a Trump. We have a commie cunt called Kier Starmer, unfortunately, who's not doing jack shit about the migrant crisis down in the southern border against the English Channel. So there was a deal that was made between Kier Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron. Yeah, French president did. And the deal was this. We send one migrant back to France that we don't like, and France sends a good migrant back in return. So it's one in, one out. Fair enough. Then this happened. From the BBC. First legal challenge lodged against one in, one out migrant return deal. This was posted today, updated 1 hour ago. If we just scroll down here, there isn't really much of an update going on. Yeah, we'll just read the top here. An Eritrean man who arrived in the UK by small boat has launched a last-minute legal claim at the High Court to stop his removal from France on Wednesday. The 25-year-old who arrived in the UK on the 12th of August was due to be returned under the new one-in, one-out returns pilot scheme agreed between the UK and France. Fair enough. Launching the first legal challenge against the deal in the High... Oh, you're going to fucking love this bit, by the way. You're going to love this bit. Launching the first legal challenge against the deal in the High Court in London, his lawyers argued that there was a real risk of destitution if he was deported to France. Real risk of destitution if he was deported to France. So why would this illegal migrant, don't say asylum seeker, he's an illegal fucking migrant, why was this illegal migrant deemed to be at risk of destitution if he was returned to France? Little bit of backstory here, people. According to the United Nations ruling on seeking asylum and asylum seekers, asylum seekers should generally seek asylum at the first country deemed safe by the UN after they leave their place of danger or country of danger. In this case, this guy was an Eritrean man who left from Ethiopia, apparently, according to this thing anyway, right? So he arrived in Italy, because he arrived in Italy in April of 2025. Why didn't he claim asylum in Italy? Instead, he bypassed Italy and probably went through Germany to get to France. Germany is also deemed safe under the United Nations. Why didn't he claim asylum in Germany? Instead, he passed through Germany and went to France. This is now the third port of call. Why didn't he claim asylum in France? Because France is also deemed safe by the United Nations, and now he landed in England, the UK. That's now the fourth safe country that this guy went to seek asylum. And why is it that the whole argument that his lawyers are making is if he returns to France, he would become destitute? Destitution basically means you're homeless, penniless, and that's it. You're basically homeless and penniless. Destitution comes from an old, corrupted Middle England late medieval word, which I can't remember now, but I know that's where destitution came from. It basically means you're down and out. Down and out, homeless, penniless. Why would he be deemed at real risk of destitution if he was kicked back to France? I'll tell you why, kids. Because France, unlike the UK, doesn't throw free shit at every single illegal migrant that crosses the border. If this Eritrean was returned to France, he would not have a hotel room. He would not be given free money. He would not be given a free phone. The only thing he would be given is a tent and 2 meals a day. That's it. He would essentially become homeless, but not really homeless, because he would be given a tent in one of France's many migrant camps that have been set up by the French government. However, if this Eritrean man lands on British soil, usually Dover, down south, way down south on the English Channel coast, he would be immediately given a hotel room, usually in a 3 or 4 star hotel. He would be given 3 meals a day, usually buffets put up by the hotel. He would be given free money, anywhere between £50 to £100 a week. Basically job seekers allowance, that's essentially what it falls under. Anywhere between £50 to £100 a week, and in a lot of cases he would be given a phone, whether it be the previous generation of Android phones or the previous generation of Apple phones. He would be given a phone, and in some cases Uber, Just Eat, Deliveroo, or some other of the dodgy delivery companies down south would give him a job delivering food. Off the books, of course, but he would be given a job in some cases, not all, some cases. This is why the lawyer is making an argument that if he was sent back to France, he would essentially be homeless and penniless, because France is not going to give him free money. France is not going to give him a free phone. France is not going to give him a free hotel room. In some cases they do, but in most cases they don't anymore. This is why all these illegal migrants are bypassing Europe and going straight here, because they know if they land here, they'll be given everything they need. Everything they need, including a phone, so they can phone the relations up in the country that they apparently fled for their life from, even though they left, in a lot of cases, their wife and their children behind in their dangerous country. Yeah. Here's the problem that we've now got. Now, this judge is supposed to make his ruling sometime today. It's already coming close to 8 o'clock in the evening. I don't think he's going to make his judgment today. But here's the problem we've got right now. The backbench Labour MPs are far left. They're not communist, but they're verging on it. They're far left. A lot of the backbench Labour MPs are not in favour of the one-in, one-out policy. The way that they see it, if an illegal migrant lands in the UK, they should stay here. Whether they're child rapists, whether they're murderers, whether they are running around thieving, doesn't matter. They should stay here. This is why the deportation problems that have been happening with a lot of the child rapist migrants have fallen short. Because Kier Starmer is too afraid to go up against his own Labour backbench far-left MPs to actually start deporting all of the child rapists that have been emigrating or immigrating into the UK. We've all seen the problems with Epping. We've all seen the problems in Luton, where Tommy Robinson comes from. We've all seen the current problems that the news is now breaking about child rape gangs in London. But they can't be deported, because the last time Starmer even talked about deporting them, the Labour backbench MPs went nuts. Now Starmer's got another problem. If the High Court, which is mainly centrist but leaning left, right? They're not far left, but they lean towards the left. If the High Court rules in favour of this Eritrean, there goes the one in, one out deal. It's gone. It's over. It's done. Because this court case sets the precedent for the rest of the one in, one out cases. If the High Court rules in favour of this Eritrean man, Kier Starmer's one in, one out deal is dead in the water. He will have a High Court against him, he will have his own Labour backbenchers against him, and he's going to be stuck in the middle, with clowns to the left of him, jokers to the right. Anyone get that music reference? Then yes, you're probably the same age as me. Good song though, Stuck in the Middle. But there we have it, folks. There we have it. We could be at the stage where no matter who the illegal immigrant is, no matter what the illegal immigrant has done, we can't deport them. We can't deport them. Not if the High Court ruling rules in favour of this particular migrant. Kier Starmer would now be powerless, completely powerless, to deport any of them. Because it would be bad enough and very near political suicide for Kier Starmer to try and deport them against his own Labour backbenchers, but he's trying to at least, but with the High Court against him. If the ruling comes in favour of this Eritrean, that's it, it's over, it's done, it's over. Because we're now at the stage, thanks to Tony Blair, the war criminal who set up the High Court in the first place, we're now at the stage where the Supreme UK Court can actually rule laws against the UK sitting government. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna refresh this because it did say that this judge was supposed to make the ruling today. But now there's no sign of it. I think the ruling's going to end up being tomorrow. So keep an eye on it, folks, because if this High Court judge rules in favour of this Eritrean, Kier Starmer doesn't have a leg to stand on. He simply doesn't. He does not have a leg to stand on. He can no longer deport illegal migrants with the one in, one out system, because the High Court will block him. High Court against him, backbenchers against him. If this High Court ruling does fall in favour of this Eritrean, I honestly can't see Kier Starmer being the Prime Minister for longer than a couple of months. I honestly can't see it. He may end up being forced to resign because he can no longer actively and effectively police the illegal migrant problem and actively and effectively police the southern border. He's going to have to resign. Anyway, that's it from me, folks. Have a good one.